và số 8 Rod Beckley. Hàng tấn công với số 10 Eden Hazard, số 18 Olivier Giroud cùng số 22 Willian. Ông Maurizio Sarri, người có thể nói là chân ướt chân ráo tới với Premier League nhưng đã sớm đặt những dấu ấn của mình lên The Blue. Đường chuyền không chính xác, rất khó để Redmond có thể khống chế được pha bóng vừa rồi. Vâng, xin chào anh Thái Sài Gòn. Hello anh. Bộ tất màu da cam. Kante. Willian. Bộ khung quen thuộc. Chỉ có một sự tinh không phải thi đấu cho phép Chelsea rất thảnh thơi ở đầu mùa. Những trận cầu ở vòng bảng Europa League, đội hình 2 của họ hoàn toàn đủ. 2 trận đầu tiên ở Europa. Và đặc biệt Alonso. Tí Liverpool vào lúc 1 giờ 45 sẽ có thì rất xếp thứ 10. Việc bán đi quá nhiều những cầu thủ xuất sắc. Trong quá có thể nói là lên tới tầm thế giới. Tài năng rất Hazard, Eden Hazard, vẫn là Hazard, vẫn là Hazard. 2 cú dứt điểm liên tiếp, 2 tình huống lăn xả của Southampton. Willian sút tiếp, bóng đã liếm xả ngang. Một phen hú vía dành cho đội chủ nhà. Một pha mất bóng nguy hiểm ở tuyến giữa. Tài năng trưởng thành Hazard.
Заробляє право на виконання.
Aguero. Quetta đã vâng, vườn ươm của Liverpool của Southampton đã tới với Liverpool trong kỷ nguyên Premier League. Một tấn có thẻ tích
to get a palm away. It was Willian that delivered it from defending resiliently, but how long can they 0?
Just with Redmond on that left-hand side, it was a great opportunity to get forward. Chelsea's centre-backs were on the right wing at the time, but Hazard plays a ball through the middle, looking for Giroud, but it won't reach him, and it was cleared eventually. Will come all the way back to Kepa. Now on the left-hand side with Alonso, dropping in, it's Barkley. Barkley looking for a pass forward, and he has to decide to play it back to Alonso, who returns it back to the Englishman. He's looking for that forward pass every time, but has to give it back to Luiz on this occasion. He's telling him to run on. Jorginho now takes it past one player into Hazard. Hazard comes stumbling to the ground, but nothing given from the referee, and Southampton can break through. Redmond plays it down the left hand side towards Lemina, but Willian covers well and easily regathers the ball for Chelsea.
Yeah, that's just the thing with Southampton. They're going to have so kind of few forays forward into the Chelsea half. They're going to have to make the absolute most of them, and just depends whether they've got the players to be able to do that. I mean, Nathan Redmond's a classic example of an inconsistent.
I always liked him, kind of similar in terms of Andros Townsend. They're both very two-footed, can hit a shot from distance, but both very inconsistent at times and don't always turn up for their team.
Here is Jorginho. Jorginho plays one down the line. Hazard just flicks it off to Barkley. Barkley gets a cross in from deep, headed away by Wesley Hoyt, and then headed once again by Bednarek. Just cleared by Southampton. I don't think Danny Ings has had a single touch of the ball yet in this game. It could be a very long and thankless task for him this afternoon. As Chelsea come forward, that's a clear foul from Pierre-Emile Højbjerg in the middle of the park. Quick free kick taken though. Rudiger now plays it in to Azpilicueta. Back with Rudiger. Gabbiadini again, another man who's not had a touch and not had too many opportunities to play this season. Mark Hughes has tended to prefer playing either Shane Long or Charlie Austin up with Ings, as Chelsea put a high ball into the box. Headed out to the left side now. Hazard picks it up one-on-one against Cedric. He's then helped by Gabbiadini. He goes backwards to Alonso, who delivers it to the far post. Headed on by Bertrand. Willian will get to it though. It's just constant pressure at the minute for Chelsea. Azpilicueta round the corner for Kante on this near side. Here is Willian. Tries to play one in for Hazard. It deflects back to him. Azpilicueta now again. Here is Kante on this far right side, and Azpilicueta then goes back inwards for Rudiger. Gets the ball back off Jorginho. Here is the Spaniard Azpilicueta, and he established himself as a key player for Chelsea over the past few seasons, and another man whose role has slightly changed from a right-sided centre-back to just a normal right-back now. You can just see from the stats that come up on our screen, 41% of the game played in the final third for Chelsea. That just shows how dominant it's been so far. Yeah,
I can't say in these opening 14 and a bit minutes that we've seen Southampton string a few passes together, either 1, 2 or 3 played together. I can't remember it.
No, I can't either. Well, they've got the ball now at the back. It just depends where they can go with it. They're sideways now with Hoyt. Mark Hughes of course, lining up against the club he represented during the mid-90s. High ball forward, and well, that's just pretty aimless really, and that's just the sign of a team who want to try and get it forward as quick as possible, just to have almost a bit of a breather, because Chelsea are running at them. There's movement and runners all over the place, and they're being dragged out of position at Southampton.
Yeah, that's the sort of ball that the likes of Shane Long has had to feed off for quite a few years now. He just sits up there and just tries to chase things down and hope that a defender makes a mistake, but on this occasion Ings wasn't running for it, Redmond wasn't running for it down the left hand side, and it was just too easy for Chelsea to pick up.
Yeah, and Shane Long is quicker than Danny Ings and Gabbiadini up front as well, so that's the kind of ball that you could play up to him, and sometimes it'll come off with Ings and Gabbiadini. Once again, just a long one knocked up, Ings turning round. He didn't even bother running to that because there was no chance he was going to get there, no point in wasting your energy doing that. And he kind of looked round his shoulder thinking, play it into my feet, not over my head.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the team sheet, it's not a negative team sheet at all from Mark Hughes. Ings, Gabbiadini strikers, and Redmond as an attacking player. It's just the fact that they've been pushed so far back that the midfield just can't get up the pitch and force Ings and play him through in behind.
Well, Chelsea come forward again, and the pass to Giroud just a little bit overhit. Giroud applauds the efforts and then goes to chase Alex McCarthy, and we're just seeing shots from our studio pictures of a bit of an unsung hero this season perhaps for Chelsea. We know Maurizio Sarri's gone in, but he's got Gianfranco Zola as an assistant who he's not really been a successful manager wherever he's been, but as a coach in the training ground, what an influence to have there, and he's probably part of the reason why they're now so good to watch.
Out and out Chelsea legend, there's no other way to put it. He's one of those that, even though he might not have been successful as a too successful as a manager, he's got the experience from that, and he can bring that into coaching. I've never heard anyone say that they don't like Gianfranco Zola either. He's one of those, he's great in the dressing room as well.
Here come Chelsea now down the left, a sweeping move forward, and Hazard takes it inside Cedric, the space opens up, he squares it to Kante, and then the strike will come in from distance from Ross Barkley. It's comfortably over the bar. Maybe Hazard could have gone for the shot, a little bit surprised that he was hesitant with that one, because Cedric just ran away from him. He gave him that half yard, and when the ball gets here, just he squared it to Kante on the edge of the box instead, who laid it back off to Barkley, was leaning back with the shot, but maybe a bit surprised that Hazard didn't go for a crack there.
Yeah, I think Bednarek did well to rush out quickly and try and block off the angle for a shot, but brilliant football from Chelsea. Ball into Willian on the middle of the park, wasn't it, and he just flicks it around the corner, and quick three or four passes that were all first touch, and just gets them up the pitch so quickly, and then Hazard and others can just do the magic on the edge of the box, and this time it didn't quite work, but they'll keep doing it.
Bertrand looks to lift one into the box for Ings, but Louise gets there first, and now Kante picks up the second ball. Willian then lays it back off to Azpilicueta. He's forced backwards to Rudiger. Southampton not really showing too many signs of getting any sort of foothold in this game. Alonso then lays one off for Hazard. Barkley round the corner, that's a late challenge, but the referee has waved advantage. Now Hazard can come down the left after receiving the ball from Marcus Alonso. Hazard one-on-one against Højbjerg. He plays it inside for Jorginho, then lays one off for Barkley. Here is Alonso. Southampton with 9 players back by the looks of it, as one's lifted into the box. Willian tries to flick it back, Yoshida gets in the way and Bertrand has to clear it. He doesn't get it too far, but anywhere will do. Hazard back into the box, and then that's headed back. It's a 50p head motion almost from Jan Bednarek, and out for a corner kick.
Yeah, I don't know quite. I don't think the Southampton players knew what each other were doing in the box there. Yoshida and Bertrand just getting completely confused with what each other was doing, and eventually Bednarek tries to head it away and it goes backwards.
Well, it was almost as if they stopped thinking the free kick had been given in the build-up, and then they just were completely caught on the hop, and Southampton have conceded another corner kick. Chelsea already 4 in the first 19 minutes, and they've also got big targets in there in Giroud, Louise, Rudiger. Alonso's not the smallest, Willian in, but that's well dealt with this time. Hazard collects it on this near side though, and plays one on the outside of his boot. Barkley's allowed to turn. Here is Louise, squares one now to N'Golo Kante, picks out Willian in front of him. Willian drifts inside and then back with Rudiger. Rudiger to Louise as Chelsea play one forward now, round the corner for Alonso. Alonso still coming, and he gets to the byline and puts a cross in. Another corner kick, this time on the far side.
Yeah, Alonso was in so much space there on the left hand side. Gabbiadini didn't quite get back quick enough. Suarez had to tuck in because Willian and Hazard were up there, but Alonso, for me, he's got to get the ball in quicker. He's looking for the man in terms of where exactly should he put it in the box, but he had so much time and space, but he allowed Gabbiadini to get back for the block, and another corner will be given. It's Willian now on the left hand side to take it.
Yep, so Willian, the man that they're trusting with all the set pieces at the moment, he goes for a different kind of delivery, drives it to the far edge of the box. Rudiger heads it and then somehow regathers the ball. It's chipped out to Luiz. Luiz will drive one back into the box, cannons off Wesley Hoyt. Another corner kick. I get the feeling 20 minutes into this game that we could end up sounding like broken records. Chelsea just coming forward and Southampton having to defend whenever they can.
Yeah, it's one of those where we're going to run out of things to say because Chelsea are coming forward that much. We're going to be saying the same thing over and over again. And, it's just another corner. Is this 6 corners now within 20 minutes, 3 in quick succession, and Southampton just can't get out whatsoever. I don't know how they can either.
Well, Willian with that driven ball in again, just over Giroud's head. It's just bouncing around the box still. Kante tries to win the battle of the head tennis with Bertrand and does so well. Willian then lays it off to Jorginho, who really took his eye off the ball there. Ball bounced off the end of his toe, so Chelsea forced backwards by that, but again, no real worries for them as Kepa Arrizabalaga, the £73 million goalkeeper, gets a rare touch of the ball, and he's just been a spectator for the majority of the game. Yeah,
Southampton fans just clapping there that they were able to push Chelsea back all the way to the keeper, and I feel as if it was, I think that was Yoshida almost lost the ball as last man, but he didn't on this occasion. Southampton fans are fully expectant that they're going to be on the back foot and happy when the team can just hold on to it.
Well, Redmond puts one into the box. Ings can then square it, and nearly getting there was Mario Lemina. That is the first time that Southampton have managed to work their way into the Chelsea box. It was Redmond with a decent ball into the box, just drifted over to him, had the beating of Azpilicueta, and then played one into Ings, whose first touch was a bit heavy, but he did well to dig out a cross, and Lemina just didn't look like he'd set himself right for that one.
Yeah, it just needed a slightly better touch from Ings, and he could have got a left-footed shot on goal, but not on this occasion, and Lemina came in and missed the ball as Chelsea give the ball away. It's now Redmond and Ings coming forward.
Yep, here is Ings. Ings will have to go backwards, and the referee very nearly gets in Pierre-Emile Højbjerg's way. So now at Southampton, well, this is a bit better from them. Certainly not the best performance so far, as they come forward again with Gabbiadini, who does well to shake off Kante. Gabbiadini shoots. That's the first effort on target. Few signs of life in this Southampton display in the last couple of minutes, but Kepa with a comfortable save.
Yeah, it was good work though from Gabbiadini. Skipped past Luiz and Kante and able to get a left-footed shot off. It was never going to trouble Kepa there, and Kante was putting on enough pressure so they couldn't whip it into the top corner, but better from Southampton. They're coming forward and having shots.
Well, it's still Southampton 0, Chelsea 0, but a game that Chelsea are still dominating really. They keep forcing corners from Southampton. They've already had 5 in the game so far, all of them dangerous deliveries from Willian. Ross Barkley's had a shot over the bar which came from an Eden Hazard run down the left. The space opened up for the shot for the Belgian, but he squared it instead to Kante, who laid one back off for Barkley, but he was leaning back as he put the strike away. But Southampton in the past few moments have just shown signs of life in this performance. Gabbiadini drifting in from the right side. He got a shot away from distance with his left boot, but Arrizabalaga was never going to be troubled by it. It still remains goalless. And with that, we've had a quarter of the game so far. So Chelsea have possession inside the Southampton half, and it'll be Matt to take you through to half time.
There is Hazard's turning and weaving in midfield, and then manages to flick a ball around the corner from Redmond under pressure. He gathers the ball on the right hand side now, looking for a man inside. Jorginho to the right hand side with Kante. Kante just plays it backwards towards Rudiger as Chelsea try and create a shape and have some movement in front, and Hazard is making one move, Giroud moving the other way. Azpilicueta into Hazard, flicks it around the corner towards Giroud, who was put under pressure by Yoshida. He's asking for a free kick, the Frenchman. Won't be given on this occasion. Long ball up forward from Alex McCarthy. Eventually now with Højbjerg in midfield, plays it right with Bednarek, he's got Cedric in front of him. Decides to turn backwards, back to Højbjerg. Bednarek. Suarez under pressure again, and then manages to play it backwards, and it's now with Yoshida. Southampton with a little bit of possession here, and this is a bit better these last 5 minutes. They've started to bring the ball forward, and it's just that last third they need to create something.
Yeah, I think they've just got to be a bit realistic with themselves. They know that Chelsea are probably going to have 70% of the possession by the time the game's done, so they just need these little spells like they're having now, where they keep hold of the ball, make Chelsea do a bit of chasing, and then try and play one forward. They don't need to go gung-ho, because if they just keep knocking the ball up, it'll keep coming back with Chelsea on the attack as they get forward now with Bertrand, who crosses it in. Oh, and what a great chance that is for Danny Ings at the far post. Well, Southampton, as we mentioned, playing some really good stuff out from the back. Ryan Bertrand with an excellent ball in there. Ings should have finished that one.
Yeah, it was a ball down the left hand side from Bertrand to Redmond. Redmond then played it down the line again to Bertrand, who was under pressure. The ball got a bit of the corner got crossed, got a bit of a flick on it, I think, from Azpilicueta, but it beats Luiz over his head, and Kepa's on the other side of the goal, and Danny Ings comes flying in with a volley and just skews it over the bar. What a chance for Danny Ings there. Chelsea almost coming behind with a pass there. You're not going to get a better chance than that all game, surely.
No, you're probably not. And Danny Ings, there's no wonder that he had his head in his hands there. A great ball from Bertrand. It did take a little bit of fortune with the deflection that took it towards Ings, and just like that Lamina effort, but a little bit more gilt-edged. He never looked like he got himself set for it. Yeah,
he was rushing in. I mean, they came forward quite quickly, so he was rushing in to try and get on the end of it. As Redmond's now on the left-hand side, squares up as Azpilicueta. He takes a shot with his right foot. I feel as if he should have found a man in the box there, but it finds its way to Bertrand. Then with Lamina, he takes a shot at goal. That was a little greedy for me, with Kante stood right in front of him.
Yeah, I think he just panicked there, Lamina. Didn't really see any movement going forward, but Southampton getting back into this game after what was 22 minutes of total Chelsea domination, and that's probably the thing that Chelsea maybe need to sort to make them Premier League title contenders. They do play this very nice brand of football, easy on the eye, but the question is, are they clinical enough? Well, they could be here.
Great ball forward from Luiz up to Hazard on the left hand side, inside to Giroud, flying tackle from Wesley Hoyt. Hazard screaming for a penalty, and I'm not so sure it's been given. No, it hasn't. It's a corner, and Alonso and Hazard are going up to Craig Pawson, the referee. They're not happy with this one as Hazard played the ball through. It was Giroud did get the flick to the left hand side. I'm not so sure if Wesley Hoyt did get a touch.
Well, Hazard, it was a lovely ball through to Giroud. I think Hoyt got the touch. I think it's a great challenge from Wesley Hoyt as he was coming in, and the momentum that Giroud had going forward meant that he almost stood on Hoyt more than anything and tripped himself up. I think that would have been very soft had it been given.
Yeah, I feel as if both players got a touch on the ball, but Wesley Hoyt just stretched his toe just enough to get on the end of it, and it will just be a corner instead of a penalty. It's Hazard to take this one instead of Willian. Just clips it to the front post, flicked on by Barkley, and then headed away in the end by Bednarek. It was a great set piece routine. They did that just before with Barkley at the front post before, and he got too much on it, but now Southampton breaking down the left hand side with Lamina. He's got two men in support in front of him. Luiz tries to put in a tackle, but he holds on to it. Redmond now on the left hand side. He's got Azpilicueta for company. Plays it back for Højbjerg. Square across the midfield over to Bednarek and towards Cedric Suarez. He's put under pressure by Hazard, and now Southampton just holding on to possession. Yeah, we've just seen a stat here, last 5 minutes it's been 2/3 of the possession to Southampton. Redmond now to the left hand side with Lamina. I think that is on the left back position instead of Bertrand. They've just swapped for the moment. It's now with Redmond, cuts it past Rudiger, but Rudiger holds him off with great strength, and now Chelsea can come forward again.
Yeah, great defending there from Rudiger, but Southampton really improving in the last 5 minutes, and all of a sudden Chelsea look a little bit rattled now, but they are coming forward with a bit more fluency than what Southampton are. You'd probably expect that because Chelsea's quality of plays are better. Interesting the corner routines that they're playing. They are whipping them right towards the near post and the far post. It doesn't look like Southampton are marking those areas in the box.
No, yeah, and both times they've played that set piece to the front. Barkley's managed to get on his head on it. The first time he got too much and it looped towards the back. That time he just skimmed it enough, and it was a fantastic recovery header before Luis could get on the ball, but a great pass onto the right hand side with Azpilicueta, puts a cross into the box, attacking it is Giroud, but he just heads it the wrong way under pressure from Yoshida, but Chelsea recover the ball. So now Azpilicueta on the right hand side, touches it past Redmond, tries to get round him, but Redmond with great pace is able to get the ball and recover it and smash it clear. So now Chelsea throwing on the right hand side, 30 minutes gone, and you've got to say Southampton would have expected to be on the back foot, but they've done pretty well overall. Yeah, particularly in the past 10 minutes. As we mentioned, we know that for the majority of the game it will be Chelsea that are on the front foot, and Southampton will have to defend well and be really resolute as they come forward again. Excellent challenge from Hoyt though to dispossess Hazard. Chelsea come forward again, it's laid off to Hazard in the box, and he finishes it off. Well, Chelsea, you have to say that it was coming and it was deserved for the first half an hour as Hazard finishes off that chance. Yeah, good football in the middle, a great ball through. I think it might have been Barkley, just split the defence really. Hoyt had stepped out before for that tackle on Hazard, and then Hazard just threw on goal, one-on-one with the keeper, just passes it to the side of him. Chelsea have taken a deserved lead, and who else but Eden Hazard to get the goal. As Southampton managed to challenge Chelsea when they were coming forward. Barkley won the ball, and then he played a lovely defence-splitting pass. Hoyt committed himself and allowed Hazard to break into the box, and from around 14 yards out, the Belgian made absolutely no mistake, and he sticks Chelsea ahead. It's 1-0. Yeah, sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. Great play from Barkley. He put pressure on the midfoot, taking a penalty there, just sent the keeper the wrong way. There was no defender coming in with a tackle, and Chelsea take the lead. And now you feel that with the onus now on Southampton to come forward, there's going to be even more space for Chelsea as Lamina tries to play a ball across the field, and it just goes right out of play for a Chelsea goal kick. That was really poor there from the Southampton midfielder, but brilliant from Chelsea's midfielder Ross Barkley just before getting an assist on his sheet today. Brilliant tackle to win it back early on. Yeah, he was doing what you'd expect to see from a complete midfielder, winning the challenge and then just having the presence of mind to get up straight away, get his head up and see that Hazard was running. You have to say Wesley Hoyt's maybe a little bit unlucky, because it was a great challenge initially to dispossess Hazard, and then he tried to come out to meet the ball, but Barkley just got it ahead of him. He left the space for Hazard, and you don't do that for a player in the kind of form that he is in. Kante ball forward up towards Barkley. Barkley tries to take it down and has a shot at goal, a volley that was blocked in the end. Now comes to Wesley Hoyt, who just has to clear the ball for a throw-in, but it was a brilliant ball in behind, or attempted ball from Kante. I think it was Yoshida, just got a flick on it, but wasn't able to take it down or head it clear, and Barkley got that chance there. Azpilicueta now with the throw-in on the right-hand side. Chelsea just probably going to slow the game down for a moment, make sure that Southampton can't score quickly. Flicked on by Hazard in towards Barkley. Jorginho plays it left to Alonso, inside now to Hazard. He's just picking up spaces all across this Southampton defence. They don't quite know where to mark him in this free role he's got. All into Willian, back to Hazard. Across now to Barkley again. Barkley's pass is deflected, but will find its way to Hazard. Looking for a man down the right hand side. Good defensive covering from Southampton though, and he has to play it all the way to the back. Luis across to Alonso, just holding on to possession as you would expect Chelsea here, as they were at the start of the game for the first 20 minutes or so. Cross now with Azpilicueta, Kante, back to Rudiger. All uncomfortable on the ball. Southampton not really pressing either, no real guile in how they're getting forward in terms of that, and it looks to me as if Southampton's formation may have changed for a moment as Willian plays the ball, tries to play the ball down to Barkley on the right side. It'll just look for me for a second as if Gabbiadini had gone up front with Danny Ings, and maybe Ings has dropped slightly back. I'm not quite too sure. I'll have to keep an eye on that one. Yeah, I think they're both centre forwards that they're not just proper in-box ones like what Charlie Austin is. Maybe he wouldn't suit this game because they won't be able to get the ball into him often enough. They can do work outside the box, but that goal really will settle Chelsea down, and I think the pattern of the game will suit them now, because Southampton will have to come forward to try and force an equaliser, and that'll just leave more gaps at the back for Chelsea to work with, and Hazard more space for him to run into. Yeah, I feel as if Gabbiadini, yes, I'm pretty sure he has just now gone alongside Ings at the top, but it's a foul given away by Højbjerg in midfield. Now I think it'll be Luis to take this one. He just plays it short. in towards the feet of Jorginho. Gives it back to the Brazilian, but only gets it back once again. That's Piliqueta. Back to Luiz, just for the moment on the right centre-back position. Him and Rudiger swapping. Rudiger now on the left, brings the ball forward, plays it in towards Willian. He's got a couple of runners ahead of him. Cuts inside instead, plays it towards Hazard. Hazard leaves it, Giroud then flicks it round the corner. Hazard in the box, he runs past one, and a great tackle in the end by Hoyt again. Yeah, lovely football on the edge of the box, and a great flick from Giroud, who's been a little bit quiet in the first 35 minutes of the game. But what a flick that is. Hazard, the second touch, took it a little bit too wide, and the challenge came in from Bednarek and out for yet another corner kick. Yeah, Hazard just has that ability, just like in the same sort of way that Messi does, just to keep the ball as if it's on a shoestring right near his feet. And I didn't even see it at first, but that dummy was brilliant. Plays the ball towards the front post again. Everyone misses the header. I think a Southampton player may have just got a flick on the end of it, but it will be given a Southampton throw-in, I believe. Yes, I think it will be. I thought he might have got a touch, but yeah, he just dummies it towards Giroud, and Giroud, he is a very good link man on the edge of the box, you have to say. When Chelsea bought him, I thought that's a brilliant signing, especially from a London rival. Yeah, particularly for how cheap they got him as well. I think it was only something around £12 million, which for a proven Premier League centre-forward who can play at that level, I thought was a great deal. I think he's one of the more underrated players in the league, and for me he links the play up better than what Morata does, which is why he's in the team. Yeah, I always felt Giroud was very good at the front post, flicking things around the corner, and when you're playing with Hazard who makes runs off you, and you've got Willian as well, you can just do them flicks on the edge of the box and you know that somebody's going to be running through on goal. It must be fantastic to play as a striker with Willian and Hazard either side of you, you've got to say. Luiz now brings the ball forward into Kante. There's a lot of space out on the left hand side for Alonso. Chelsea can find him, but they can't, and Gabbiadini nicks the ball back from a poor pass from Rudiger. Still bringing the ball forward, no real support, and takes a shot from 30 yards. Stings the hand of Kepa, but he will keep onto the ball. Yeah, he just took too long to make his mind up there, Gabbiadini, and then he almost forced himself to have that crack from distance. It's not the first time that he's had a shot on target from there, and it was a decent effort, but it would have had to have been really special to beat Kepa. It was always comfortable for him. Yeah, I mean, he had Ings running in front of him. If he decided to play the ball earlier and just try to flick it over the top, or even drill it through the gap of the defenders, then it may have worked, but it just took too long, and eventually Chelsea cut that option off. Chelsea now coming forward, Alonso into Giroud, flicks it around the corner once again into Hazard. Somehow keeps onto the ball against Højbjerg and then decides to change pace and dribble into the box, plays it square to Alonso, who tries to flick it forward, but there's too many bodies there for Southampton, and Redmond flicks it clear towards Ings, just holding the ball up, almost turns through the gap and then puts in a sliding tackle and wins the ball brilliantly back for his side, and that will be a free kick as Barkley just clips the heels of Højbjerg once again. But brilliant hold-up play, you have to say, from Danny Ings. That's what you feel as if he's got to keep doing that to help his team get up the field. Yeah, and it might not be what he wants to do, because naturally he's not that kind of forward who you'd associate as being a big presence up there, but it's what he's going to have to do if Southampton are going to stay in this one, because he'll be an isolated figure otherwise. Luiz plays the ball into Jorginho, then into Barkley. Højbjerg there just overzealous in pressing him. In the last 5 minutes of possession, we mentioned earlier that in that 5 minute spell Southampton had 2/3 of possession, but how about 91% possession to Chelsea in the last 5 minutes? Yeah, that's more like it. From straight after you've scored as well. Yeah, I mean it's great game craft. They're controlling the game really well after getting that goal, and it's just settled them down so well. It's smart play from Sarri. Hazard plays one into the box for Kante, who takes it round. Kante can't quite get the strike away, and now he's been penned back in, but his ball across doesn't find a teammate. Great football from Hazard to play Kante, and they just couldn't quite get a shot off. Now with Barkley on the edge of the box into Alonso. Alonso cuts it back for Kante. Kante's shot, and then sliding challenge from Wesley Hoyt. He's able to block it away for a corner. Yeah, I know, great football from Chelsea as they came forward. Kante trying some close control as he got the ball round Bertrand, and well, he dragged his shirt back. Kante didn't go down. I think he's not that kind of player who's got that instinct to go down, if you like, and that could have easily been a penalty. Corner into the box, won by Giroud. Now comes to Luiz. Luiz takes a snapshot at goal, but it's offside with Alonso. Tries to take on Cedric Suarez, keeps onto the ball, spreads it over to the right hand side with Willian. Hazard's also there for company. Willian brings it inside. Now cuts it outside for Hazard. Will try and put across Willian. No, he fakes it. Comes inside. Left-footed shot. That surely got a deflection, did it? Yeah, it will be another Chelsea corner.
Yeah, brilliant play again from Chelsea. Other than that spell, sort of between 22 and minutes and the goal, they've just been so dominant in this game. 10 corners in the first 40 minutes already. It's almost unheard of as Willian prepares to put one in.
I wouldn't like to put my money on the number of corners in a game, especially as high as 10. Willian cuts it into the box. McCarthy reaches high to punch it away. Picked up though at the back by Jorginho. Then on to Alonso on the left wing. Just tries a Cruyff turn to fake the cross under pressure from Danny Ings. Back to Jorginho though. Luiz now just looking for an option. Left-footed pass square to Azpilicueta into Willian. He's under pressure though. He has to quickly play the ball back to Rudiger. And we'll try and bring the ball forward once again. Now with Luiz, just keeping on to possession of Chelsea there. More comfortable every minute that goes by.
Still remains Southampton 0, Chelsea 1 at St Mary's, and Chelsea's game management has been absolutely brilliant since they got the goal. They've had well over 90% of possession since then, and it's just calmed them down because before the goal Southampton had a couple of good chances. The best one coming after good build-up play down the left side. Bertrand's deflected cross found Danny Ings 6 yards out, but he was on the stretch and he played it over the bar. But since then, some great play on the edge of the box from Eden Hazard. He fed a ball through to N'Golo Kante. He ran into the box. Bertrand was dragging back his shirt. It could have easily been a penalty, but Kante doesn't really have that forward instinct and he stayed on his feet. It still remains 1-0.
Chelsea still holding on to the ball around the halfway line. Alonso plays it to Willian and continues his run down the line. Play the ball into Hazard, well won by Højbjerg, who flicks the ball through the legs of Ross Barkley and wins himself a free kick. Just did that age-old trick of playing the ball past someone and running into them and going down to win that free kick. It's exactly what Southampton needed to try and hang on to the ball, but put under pressure straight away as Ishida's pass is cut out towards Cedric Suarez. Now with Lamina, tried to play a neat eye of the needle pass through towards Bertrand, and Willian picked it up, but Lamina did brilliantly to win the ball back again. Plays it back to Hoyt. Hoyt then does brilliantly in the end to flick the ball down the line, but Chelsea win it back, and it's Willian now to Azpilicueta. Tries to cut the ball back to Willian once again, but it's deflected away by Hoyt. The ball then hits the corner flag and will go out for a corner. Wesley Hoyt has been that defender that we've seen the most of so far for Southampton.
Yeah, he's done well, all things considered. I mean, Southampton from their point of view might see him at fault for the goal, but you know, he's got his head to everything. He's won challenges and he's trying his best in there. It must be very difficult though for all three Southampton centre-backs when you've got several Chelsea players running into the box. Even the likes of Alonso are constantly in the box when they're playing at full-back.
Yep, ball into the box from the corner, missed by Luiz, picked up at the back post. I think it was an attempt, no sorry, the first header was by Luiz, yes, and then an overhead kick attempt from Alonso at the far post, but he was just under pressure too much. We just look at a replay from the goal. Wesley Hoyt won the ball, played it into Højbjerg, who tried to turn, and then Hoyt stepped out again, and that's where the space came for the ball to be played through to Hazard. Didn't quite know his surroundings. A few complaints from his teammates. Cedric and Lamina weren't too happy with that one, but it's one of them. You've got to try and go for the ball when it's there.
I don't think Højbjerg covered himself in glory either, as he tried to almost do a Cruyff turn inside, and he just robbed the ball. He should have been a bit more aware of his surroundings, and maybe that was an occasion where Southampton should have just played it long. He gave the ball away, and Hazard did the rest.
And just look back at the penalty claim, and just seeing a new angle on it, and to me that angle showed Hoyt didn't get too much of the ball. Giroud gets a toe on it.
It's very tight,
so difficult. Alonso now on the left hand side puts the ball into the box. Giroud, it goes over his head. It's one of those that in full speed a referee's got to make a snap decision, and it's literally a matter of centimetres and millimetres to who got the touch on the ball.
Yeah, because I think Hoyt did get a tiny flick on the ball, and whether that's enough in this day and age, because Premier League that could maybe help make the decision, but
Impossible thing to do, and no matter how many times we look at it, we're still unsure as to who did get the touch on the ball. But Chelsea 1-0 up, maybe could have had another penalty if Kante had gone down with that shirt tug. Sarri will be pretty pleased with his team, maybe feel as if coming up to halfway comfortable with 1-0, but maybe could have got another with the amount of chances that they've almost created.
yeah, and it's not the chances really, it's the possession they've had and the territory. They've constantly been in Southampton's half as Luiz fizzes one back to Arisa Balaga there. That's just the thing they need to do when they get forward. Just have a couple of efforts and maybe a few shots from distance. Maybe you can accuse them of trying to be a little bit too precise on the edge of that box. We're into the 45 minutes now, just 1 minute at the end of this first half.
Luiz just attempted a long ball forward, and Yoshida there trying to hoof the ball long really, but didn't quite see that William was pressing him. He almost gave it away to the Brazilian. Long ball forward up towards Gabby Adini. He can't win it off Luiz, who will just bring it out of defence. His ball is poor. Højbjerg wins it, and then he loses it, or momentarily lost it to Barkley, but that was given as a free kick. Southampton play quickly now with Bertrand on the left hand side. He flicks the ball past Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta has Giroud in company, and Giroud has been adjudged to have been given away a foul. Bertrand looks in a bit of pain. Was that just a typical striker's challenge coming back?
Yeah, he came back, and it was just a little bit of contact in the back. I don't think it's that severe. I think Bertrand's milking that one a bit, but great chance for them just before the break to get a leveller. Yeah,
I think Bertrand has run into Giroud more than anything, and the referee Craig Pawson has brought the ball back to the position. Yeah, they're arguing here. Craig Pawson and Bertrand. Bertrand is not happy, and he's been given a yellow card. I was just thinking that Craig Pawson has brought the ball back to where Bertrand flicked the ball through the legs of Azpilicueta, and not where he was taken down for Giroud. And that's what Bertrand's not happy about. Yeah, he's been given a yellow card for complaining.
I feel a bit of sympathy with Bertrand there, because I thought he placed the ball down where the foul was.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to see another replay of it, but Craig Pawson seems in no doubt whatsoever that the foul took place a little bit more wide. Mark Hughes, of course, well, I don't think there's any doubt of what he thinks of that decision. So Bertrand, a really cheap yellow card to pick up, but one that I feel a little bit of sympathy for him for.
It's one of those that, in this position, Redmond now flicks it into the box. It's headed away by Barkley. Can it be picked up by Lamina? No, it will be Kante to win it, as Chelsea can bring the ball forward, but he's taken down in the end. It's one of those where I feel, and that will be the half time, but I feel as if the ball was further back, it's easier to put a cross in than if it was further forward anyway.
Yep, it's one of those unfortunate ones, but that is the half time whistle. It's Southampton 0, Chelsea 1.